Hello everyone! Today our episode will be a little bit different, and as you see there are 3 different or the same, as you put it, books in front of me. So I have been making recipes out of this one up till now. This is a Slovene Cookbook by Miss Felicita Kalinšek. But I have recently discovered that this one was actually edited by Miss Izabela Gosak, and I did not have this information prior because it didn't cross my mind, and it turns out that this guy, or parts of this guy, are still copyrighted. So I started thinking, what would that mean for me? And it actually set in motion a very interesting avalanche, I guess. And I ended up going back, and ended up with this guy here. This is also Slovene Cookbook, and this one is from year 1912. And this was the first edition that Miss Felicita officially signed her name to as an author of the book, because the book Slovenska Kuharica was originally written by Magdalena Pleiweis, and by the 6th edition, this is the 6th edition, it underwent such a massive change with so many additions and new recipes written in that by Miss Felicita, that she actually went to claim a part of the authorship herself with this one. And this one is actually the start of her journey. And afterwards she was adding more and more recipes with other additions, so this one is still hers, but as you see, much more heftier. Anyway, I have studied this one a bit, and it's really, really nice to see. It even has like painted illustrations. It's a really beautiful and a really old book. And the best thing is that I discovered that I can just keep the project as it is, just with an older book, which to me is actually even more exciting. And this one contains just as many, or almost just as many, pastry recipes as this one. I thought that it's gonna have a much smaller selection or something like that, but actually the sweets are very, very intact, it turns out, since it was already her work. Apparently she already set a sturdy base with this one and just kept adding with this. Anyway, this guy alone contains more than 500 sweet recipes from what I glanced over. And yes, so the project continues as it was up till now, just that we are gonna be baking from an even older book. Most of the recipes will stay the same, and I still intend, to look at this one at the end to see how they fare, how they got molded by time, because this is the 30th edition, as I said in the last episode. This one was updated by Bernarda Gostečnik, and it's the it's 150-year anniversary book from the original one. So yeah, here we actually have almost the full journey. I did not yet manage to acquire Miss Magdalena Pleiweis' original, since it's a very old book from year 1868, I think. So yes, for now we're focusing on Miss Felicita's story with more than 500 recipes, so we have quite a lot of work in front of us. I was also thinking about the phrasing of the mission itself, because I always said pastry recipes, but that's only because in our language the term is sladice, and that's not, there's not an elegant translation of that word into English, because sladice means like anything sweet that would be appropriate to eat after lunch or dinner. So really anything from cakes to dumplings, sweet dumplings, to pancakes, to strukli, however those are called in English, sorry, to normal pies or cookies, like anything sweet in a way, but maybe not like candy or bought chocolates. Those are not considered sladice. So for the lack of the better term, I went with pastry because it sounded the best to me, but it's not quite accurate. So I think I'm gonna rename just a bit and say that, because I am intending to make every sweet dish out of this. But so if I say pastry, I think it's a little bit too narrow. So yeah, I can't wait to get started and to take up an even larger challenge, because the recipes here are considerably more dated, with even more things left out, and the terminology has changed quite a bit over the years. So here is one term for the same dessert, here's another term for it, and here is still again something else, because our language was so ever shifting. So yeah, I will always mention, the aspect that interests me and that I find fascinating about it. So I hope you will keep watching, and see you next week. Bye.